Hey, good morning, guys. Ryan Hamer here. I want to talk to you quickly regarding knowing your own self-worth, and had a had a situation where I was talking with somebody, and I was reminded of how a lot of us can end up in situations in which we don't acknowledge our own self-worth, or we give someone else a false perception of our own self-worth. And it's definitely something that you want to keep in mind going forward. A lot of times we get into relationships and we bring stuff from our past. We bring stuff forward from a previous relationship into our new relationship, as well as when you do that, you let the other person know that you are still hurting and you haven't healed from the previous. And people see that. The thing is, think about when you go to the club. You see the guy that's trying to pick up every single girl at the club, or you see the girl that's getting drunk real fast and flirting and running around and stuff like that. And you see that that's obvious. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, that person is whatever, whatever. And it's so obvious to you. Take that same perception and bring it back. Now, when you want to get into a relationship, somebody can see the desperation the same way, just as obviously. Somebody can see that you haven't healed yet. Somebody can see that you have not determined what your own self-worth is yet. And somebody might want to manipulate that. Somebody might want to take advantage of that. And somebody might use that against you to hurt you. So I want you to really, really think about what you do to, what do you put out there, and how other people perceive your own self-worth. Self-worth not only takes place within the confines of a relationship with someone else, but it also takes place within the confines of, a job. If you work for someone else, you are determining, you are allowing somebody else to determine your own self-worth. They give you a paycheck at the end of the month or every 2 weeks, and taxes come out of that, and then your bills come back, and you're left with what? So keep that in mind when it comes to determining your own self-worth. Figure it out. Are you worth $50,000 or are you worth $100,000? That is something that you need to determine. And also do not bring your past into your future. We all get messed up. We all get hurt. We've all been through relationships that in certain cases, have shaped us to be who we are. What you do, though, is you plant a subconscious seed which germinates and festers and then grows into your next relationship once you have moved on. And you might not see that, but your partner will. And I always like to say, you do teach someone how to treat you. So when you get into a relationship with someone, you are teaching that person, and that person is going to treat you accordingly. Good morning, Lucy. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Keisha. What's up, Anton? How you doing? Thanks very much for watching. You teach that person how to treat you. I'm going to repeat that because it's really, really powerful. A lot of people get into relationships with someone that they should not be with. They haven't healed themselves from being hurt before, and they haven't set down their own mantra. They haven't set down their own, hey, I know that I deserve this, and I'm going to be treated this way, and I'm not going to accept this from someone else. I'm not going to stand for this from someone else. But what happens is they get into a relationship, and they'll go for the bad boy, or they'll go for the bad girl. And what happens is, a lot of times they don't recognize the fact that we men, we see with our eyes. We love with our eyes initially. And women love with their ears. And I think it's really, really true. Because what you put out there is what you get back in return. If you agree with me, good morning, Keish. If you agree with me, a lot of you will understand that a lot of you know somebody who's been in a situation in which they get into a relationship for the wrong reasons, and they're loving with their eyes, and they're not loving with their heart. In both situations, you got to love with your heart, not with what you see, and not just with what you hear. And you have to love yourself enough to know that you're in a wrong situation. You have to love yourself enough to know that, hey, you got to walk away. You got to love yourself enough to know that even when it hurts, you got to pull the Band-Aid off and walk away and respect yourself and recognize that you contribute to a negative relationship just as much as the other person contributes to the negative relationship that's making you feel awful. And a lot of it stems from establishing your net worth, because some people don't know their own net worth. They don't know their own self-worth. And it's hard, and it's sad to watch your friend. It's sad to watch a family member, anyone in a situation like that. I'm not gonna make this vlog long. I just wanted to put that out there. It was something that was sort of stirring within my heart, stirring within my spirit and my mind, and I said, let me put it out there to all my friends, because we all know somebody who's been in a situation that perhaps they shouldn't be or wouldn't be. And recognizing, establishing, and identifying your own self-worth is key to being happy and moving forward and growing and establishing a rich heart within yourself. You cannot move forward and you cannot have a rich heart until you know yourself. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great day and be kind to someone today. Ciao.